From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA here this Sunday, direct from you in Los Angeles with the latest fourth stimulus check update of 2021. Breaking news yesterday as the president signs a major deal. The official signings this next week. We'll be going over what this means for fourth stimulus checks and the fourth stimulus package. Then in the second half of this recording, we'll be going over the fifth stimulus package that'll raise your benefits up a lifetime and will change your benchmark, and that change will change your benefits an incredible amount. And then this middle recording, we go over the fourth stimulus check update, breaking news across the board, everything that brought us up to today. And we'll be going over the big money you can get right now, thousands of dollars. Viewers continue to get it. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm wearing my Sunday red. My crypto viewers are ready for the downturn of the market. My golf viewers are ready for big wins on Sunday. We're all ready. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm excited you're joining me. I'm wearing Sunday Reds. If you're a golf fan, it's Tiger Red. And if you are a crypto fan, it's because you're hoping the market's going to go down, give you a buy-in opportunity. But otherwise, I hope you're having beautiful weather where you are. As you can tell, it is beautiful here right now in Los Angeles. It's not particularly that sunny. It's not particularly that hot. It is just wonderful. And I hope the weather where you are is good as well. So drop in the comments where you're watching from and how's the weather this Sunday afternoon. In this recording, we're going to go over the wonderful fourth stimulus check updates of 2021 today. We'll be going over the breaking news that happened yesterday, the breaking news that happened today about fourth stimulus, and we'll be going over the fourth stimulus check, how much you're going to get under the fourth stimulus check, who's going to get it, when you're going to get it, and the voting process across the board. Then we'll be cutting to fifth stimulus, the raise your benefits up a lifetime, and the big money you can get right now from third stimulus, thousands of dollars the viewers continue to get every single hour of every single day, and I want that person to be you today. And this is LALATE, the only 24-hour a day, 7-day a week financial news channel, live in the morning, taped in the afternoon. This is Afternoons LALATE, and 2 hours after this is Evenings LALATE. That's a big show, don't miss it. Going into then evenings crypto at 7, and then overnights crypto as well. So make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year for a reason. Next up, 1 million. I want you part of this family. Next, also like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into the fourth stimulus by looking at the monthly stimulus checks from the House bill and the Senate proposal. The House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. That's Jalopal's House bill. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check for the remainder of July into December, so less months across the board. If you're in the live chat just after 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote, House or Senate, which one you like. But not just yet. Let's look at the monthly amount. The House bill provides $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate amount is unknown on a monthly basis, but word on the street is it's this. Yes, wow, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 an individual. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400 an individual. Now, macroeconomic factors may impact Jalopal's House bill. Why? Because some analysts believe that the vote may be called after the pandemic is considered over for legislative purposes. If that's the case, then the House bill would provide 1 year stimulus checks, not pandemic plus 1 year. And 1 year stimulus checks is $13,000. Compare that over 1 year to this over 6 months? Yes, I think you have an opinion now. So jump into the live chat, or if you're watching this video later in the day, and drop an opinion. House or Senate? House or Senate? And tell me where you're watching from and who you and how the weather is. I was going to say who you're going to predict is going to win golf today, or whether you think the crypto market's going to go down. You can do that as well. So House or Senate, which one do you like? Let's go over everything else you need to know about this fourth stimulus check. Who gets it? You do. Single individual, 75,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. Family of four, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. Congratulations. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. The fourth stimulus check is much like the third stimulus check. It would not come out in waves. It's not a waivable check, though. It's a monthly check. It's just not waivable. Hi, check. No, it doesn't work. The fourth stimulus check would not be taken out for taxes because it's not income. The fourth stimulus check would pay the same amount to everyone. Adult dependents, minor dependents, everyone across the board. That's wonderful news. And remember, I'm not a legislator, at least not yet. I'm just a reporter. I just report the news. So they make the representations, not me. They represent the vote will be by July 4th. That means that you would get the first check in the month of July for the month of July, and then the month of August for the month of August. And there you go. That is your fourth stimulus check updated 2021, part one. The next two parts are coming up later in this video. Stay with me. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. In the second half of this video, we go over third stimulus that'll raise your benefits up an incredible amount and apply a benchmark. That benchmark is wonderful because it's expected to be at its highest rate level of a generation when they apply it this December. So how will that impact your benefits, and why will your benefits go up a lifetime amount? I'll explain that in the second half of this video. But first, let's turn to some big moolah, as Sir Loin would say. Viewers, you are killing it, my family. You are killing it. We don't go less than an hour without a viewer getting some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, SNAP. And if you're one of those viewers, jump in the live chat or in the pinned comments and say what you got and when you got it. It inspires other people. But you just keep on reporting the wonderful achievements you got. And we're going first to a lot of money. I have a lot of money to get you. So get a pen and paper ready. We're going to go over a lot of details and stay to the very end. I have a lot of money to get you. And we're starting with the very first one, which is $350 billion. And not all for you. This is not the Publishers Clearance House. Just got to share it. It's coming from the federal government. It's coming last week. It's coming this week. And it's for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners' utilities. The rent is a fortune. It's about $5,000 of rent for 4 to 6 months. So when you get that money, you're going to reach out to several locations. Each location has different eligibility. So if one says no, don't worry. The next one will say yes. We're going to go over all those details in just a second. That's about $5,000 for rent for 4 to 6 months. Get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. The 6 locations you're going to reach out to are City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority. The keywords you're going to say is rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say words that they don't understand, like stimulus or eggs Benedict. Excuse me? Who's Benedict? He's not here. He's out for lunch or breakfast. No, they don't know the words eggs Benedict or stimulus. Both of the words they don't know. So don't say those words. Rent assistance because of COVID. And there you go. That's about $5,000 for rent. Tim and Linda got that. Congratulations to them. Now, this next pot of money, one viewer got $6,000 just 2 days ago. Congratulations to her. Lynn Glenn got it for her son, herself, and her mom. Gail got it as well. What is it? It's the wonderful SNAP. What is SNAP? How much money can you get? And how do you get it? Let's go over the details. SNAP is money for food. So you reach out to Department of Agriculture, DOA, to get this. And it's a wonderful program. It is money for food. How much do you get? About $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii. Yes, really. Why so much? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden and one from Trump, that raise everyone's benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. We are just killing it. $16,000 for SNAP for a family of 4 in Hawaii, $5,000 for rent, approximately 4 to 6 months. And look, we are just 9 minutes into this video. Well, I got $5,000 more money for you starting right now. That $5,000 more money for you right now is coming from the states. The federal government has stepped in and noticed that some states had overpaid you unemployment benefits due to computer error, and then asked you to return the money, which you did. Well, the federal government said, nope, that was your money to keep. The state should not have asked you to return it. So now the federal government has ordered the states to return that money back to you. Oh, baby, yes. So that money is yours. One viewer got $5,000 of it. How do you get it? To the account you have on file with your unemployment department. Next, when? Reach out to your state. Every state has different routing times. Which brings me to the next pot of money. And 3 nights ago on Overnight's Crypto, COD dropped into the live chat. And the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, another viewer did as well. What were they there to report? They were there to tell me that they had gotten their money for the next time I'm about to go over, and they wanted you to know it as well. They wanted to help you to keep you informed and positive and know that your money's on its way. That's the spirit of the Purple Power. They were jumping into a show called Overnight Crypto, which is a hit show that airs every night on this channel from about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time all the way to for 15 hours. It's a hit show. It is a blockbuster with thousands and thousands of people all throughout the night. And they knew that I was on the live chat, so they wanted to find me and they wanted to share that information with you. So let's go over this incredible money. One viewer got $2,000 as well from this. What is this? It's money coming back from IRS. It is the taxes you paid to IRS on that 2020 unemployment assistance. Let's go over the calculation. First, how much is it? If let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits, you paid IRS $5,000 of total taxes in 2020, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment assistance. Congratulations, you're getting back a check of $5,000. Next, how are you getting the check? In the case of COD and the other viewer, they had direct deposit set up on their 2020 return, so it's going on to direct deposit, easy breezy. But otherwise, it's going in the mail. So watch for that mail surgically over the next few weeks because it's a razor thin envelope and you could absolutely throw it away. Next, how or when? The when is the month of June. Checks were sent out in May so that you receive them in June. And then can you track them? Yes. 70% of the time the tracking works. Go to irs.gov, set up a username and password. Go in there and track the activity with your name. It'll show, 1, that you filed a 2020 tax return, 2, that you paid the taxes, and 3, that you're getting a refund. 70% of the time it works. And there you go. That is the wonderful moolah that you can get. More about that moolah in just a second, but now let's turn to the second of 3 parts of the Forced Stimulus Check Update 2021 in this broadcast, with the breaking news that happened yesterday as the president consummated a major deal for forced stimulus that is only for forced stimulus. More about that in 1 second, but let me tell you what led up to that. It led up to that with a series of 4 events right before it. Let's recap. A week ago, the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, Leader Schumer came out and confirmed not 1, but all 3 elements that I had been reporting about the forced stimulus reconciliation process. Number 1, he confirmed that the reconciliation process is already underway. Number 2, he confirmed that the final vote will be no later than July 4th. Number 3, he confirmed that the reconciliation process would finish with or without bipartisan support. That was that Friday. So how do we even get to that point? Well, it was all started because of the ball putting into motion, rolling from Jalopal. Jalopal had written Schumer a letter about a week earlier saying, call the vote on the recon. Why did Jalopal say that? Jalopal said that because the recon had been written, but they weren't really pushing it along. And so Jalopal wrote Schumer a letter, and that letter was co-signed by about a dozen House Democrats. What makes this even better is that those dozen House Democrats are among the 100 House Democrats who had written the president a letter weeks earlier saying they're going to put multiple stimulus checks from Jalopal's bill into the forced stimulus package. Wow. Now that's wonderful. Can we get better than that? Oh, yes, we can. A lot better. That same day, that same week with Leader Schumer's announcement came a letter from 7 House Democrats to the president. They said, we're going to work with you to put multiple stimulus checks in the forced stimulus package. Well, what does that mean? That's a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. He doesn't pass legislation. He's in the executive branch. These people write the legislation. Well, who are they to say that? Who are they to say that? They are on the House subcommittee that is solely and exclusively and only responsible for writing any stimulus legislation in the House of Representatives. Oh my goodness. So they wrote the first stimulus check? They did. Did they write the second? They did. Did they write the third? They did. And now they say they're writing the fourth. Oh my goodness. Now that is wonderful news. Could it get better? And it did. And that's what brought us up to yesterday's breaking news. About a week ago, I had told you that on Tuesday, the President of the United States had reached out to global leaders of the G7 countries to get them to agree to tentatively a higher global corporate tax rate to help pass for stimulus. And then I told you later that day, he reached out to his staffers and said, if this is going to happen, then I'm going to do this. First, I'm going to pass force stimulus, and then I'll go back to those G7 countries and have them sign on the dotted line. And if they sign on the dotted line for that higher global minimum corporate tax rate, then I will drop the U.S. corporate tax rate closer to where it is right now. Wonderful, wonderful news going into Saturday. Well, actually Friday. What happened? On Friday, I told you that I had seen a small news clipping that the president was having meetings with the G7 countries on Saturday. And I specifically said to you, I think this has everything to do with what I've been reporting with you about that G7 meeting. And guess what happened? On Saturday morning, the President of the United States came out with Janet Yellen and the head of the French Foreign Ministry announcing that the G7 countries had just agreed to that global minimum corporate tax rate of 15% now, and that they're going to sign into law next week, this coming week, weeks and months earlier before forced stimulus is passed. This was jaw-dropping, wonderful, wonderful news. It's wonderful news for so many reasons. One, that corporate tax rate is the issue that is used to pass forced stimulus. It's the issue to pay for forced stimulus. And that the president is trying to appease moderate Democrats by saying, hey, I got the global corporate tax rate low up to 15%, so now there's no longer concern that businesses will relocate from the United States overseas. Second, the global corporate tax rate was part of the president's method to get forced stimulus passed. But while he was originally going to get forced stimulus passed first on the promise that the global corporate tax rate was going to be agreed upon later this summer, he came up with the idea suddenly out of nowhere to get the global corporate tax rate signed first so that that would get forced stimulus signed and voted, approved upon by those House and Senate Democrats. Now, that is absolutely incredible. Remember that the global minimum corporate tax rate is a forced stimulus item. It's a forced stimulus item, and the president's using it as an anchor to get forced stimulus to the finish line. Incredible great news. So at this point, you have forced stimulus heading to the finish line because of a global minimum corporate tax rate being achieved months earlier, and you not only have the opportunity for potential multiple stimulus checks, but also a lower corporate tax rate closer to where we are right now in the forced stimulus package. Wow. Can it get better than that? It does. In the second half of this video, I'll be going over more about those monthly multiple stimulus checks for the fourth stimulus package and the fifth stimulus. But first, I'm going to go over a little bit about the volunteers. In spring of last year, this channel launched, and on day one, my focus was not reporting news, but getting you money, helping you get money that's yours that you are not getting. That's been my spirit since day one, and it's been the spirit of the viewers of this channel, Purple Power. I helped viewers get $25 million for EIDL loans to save their businesses, save their homes, and save their employees' homes. And then in fall of 2020, I helped get viewers $250,000 for rent and utilities because second stimulus had not yet passed. But since then, the volunteers have stepped up. They're viewers just like you, and they embody the Purple Power spirit, helping you get money that you're entitled to. And so now if you've reached out to try to get that rent, utilities, homeowners assistance, SNAP, or any of those things like that, and you can't find it, don't worry, reach out to the volunteers. They're on the community page. Where's the community page? Open the description of this video. Go down the description. You'll see a link with an emoji of a house next to it. It says community page. Click the link. It'll send you over to the community page. Has a picture of some kitty cats. Lower on the page is the volunteers. They are separated from Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and they are there to help you get that money. Reach out to them, and they're salt of the earth. They are viewers helping viewers. And then I'll be back in 60 seconds. But first, here's a little bit about the community page and those volunteers. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LA with more exciting details about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021, that monthly stimulus check, and the fifth stimulus package, and more breaking news as well. Plus, we'll be going over what calling the vote is and a special message from me as well. This is LA. Make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. I want you part of this family. The most informed, the most accurate, and the most comprehensive coverage there is online. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes. It really helps in the algorithm rankings, and consider becoming a member. I'm next with you on Evenings LA at 5 p.m., followed by Evenings Crypto, and then Overnights Crypto. Let's go right into fifth stimulus starting right now. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall with that incredible lifting of your benefits. Let's go over how that works. They're going to raise your benefits up, remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and then remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over what that means, how it calculates, and what you need to know about the breaking news. Next week, we're going to see a lot more of economic data to understand where that inflation rate will be. How is this going to work? Under fifth stimulus, they're first going to raise your benefits up to a big new number. That big new number will be for you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, survivor benefits, or multiple benefits. Then they will apply a benchmark. That benchmark is inflation. Now, let me go over how a benchmark works. When they apply the benchmark, they step you up or keep you the same for the next year. You never step down. And why are we so excited about inflation? Well, inflation is expected to be the highest number of a generation in December. It's a bigger benchmark than CPIE, which Elizabeth Warren proposed, and it's a bigger benchmark than SCOLA, which you currently have. So how high will the inflationary benchmark will be? We have a lot more economic data coming out next week, but so far we've seen it's somewhere between 2 to 7%. Let's choose 6 as an example. First, they'll raise up your benefits under fifth stimulus. Then in December, they'll apply the benchmark, let's say at 6%. So then you would step up an additional 6%, but not just for next year. Lifetime. Because the way the benchmark works is once they step you up, they never step you down. So if the year after that, the inflationary benchmark is 0, then you're still at plus 6%. If the year after that, it's 1% inflation, then you're at plus 1, plus 6%. It's wonderful, wonderful news. Next, they're going to remove the asset cap. Dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand, it's going to go away. So you'll be able to keep more than $3,000 in your hand, just in time to get those stimulus checks in your hand. Then they're going to remove the income cap. Dating back to a 1960s law, it's going to go away. So you'll finally be able to work and stay on benefits if you want to. And finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty, which is horrible. Penalizes you from getting married and penalizes you if you are married. Finally, love is going to win, and you will be able to marry your longtime love interest. That's fifth stimulus. Out the door by about October, benefits in your hand in about November, and then the step up next year. But what's important to understand is that fifth stimulus has a lot of other things in there besides just that reform. And that's the value of membership. The membership link's at the top of the chat and pinned comment. Members are delivered from me every single day a breakdown of what's in the fifth stimulus package, the fourth stimulus package, and the third stimulus package. Because it's your money. Because it's your money. And if you don't know it's available for you to get, then you may not get it. Most of this money is not automatic, that you have to apply for it, but you will get it. And what's important to understand is that if you don't get it, it doesn't go to you. So here's an example. Fifth stimulus is called the American Family Plan. But when you look at the daily delivery of information for this channel, you will see that fifth stimulus has money for single individuals, money for single hazard pay individuals, money for seniors. There's money in for fourth stimulus. There's a lot of money for third stimulus that I don't have time to cover in a single video. And with that, let's go back to fourth stimulus. It's very important to know what calling the vote is, and it's also important to know how the process is involved when doing forced stimulus and that forced stimulus check. So let me go over all the details you need to know. To pass a forced stimulus check, it requires 9 voting steps under the Constitution. No way to cut the corners, no way to do shorter. And those 9 voting steps end on July 4th, Leader Schumer represents. So let's go over them. The first half are procedural, the second half are substantive. Step 1, the House subcommittee votes on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. And step 4, the President signs the procedural bill. At this point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Time to go get the tow hitch, the substantive bill. On step 5, the House subcommittee could put the monthly stimulus checks in at the House subcommittee level. That is step 5. Now, they may or may not put it in there, but if they do, that's when they vote on it. Step 6, the House floor votes on the substantive bill. Step 7 and 8 is the 2-day vote-a-rama at which the Senate does amendments. Now, if they have received a bill from the House with no stimulus checks, they can amend to add them. If they've received a bill from the House with stimulus checks, they can leave it alone, or they can amend it as well. And then finally, step 9, the President signs into law. And there you go. 9 steps that can't be done any quicker. Now let's go back to some things that people have been asking, and I'm going to clarify them for you. It's important as we go into the new week that as more viewers come back from the weekend and come back from their little break, that if you know this information and people ask the question in the chat or ask the question in the comments, then you can answer it because you know the answers. Step 1. Why haven't they just finished it out right now? They can't finish it out because it requires 9 steps. Those 9 steps take a little bit of time. Step into question number 2. When will we see how much the senators want to put in there for the stimulus checks? The senators will not show their cards on the vote-a-rama until the moment it becomes voted upon. The concept of a vote-a-rama is cloak and dagger, hide and go seek. You do not want the opposing party to know what you're doing, let alone when you're going to call for a vote. You want to keep it secret for a series of reasons. 1, you want to pass it. Number 2, you don't want the opposing side to be tipped off as to when or how to be prepared to push against it. Number 3, you want to make sure your caucus is going to give you all the votes of support. So that is the concept of how a vote-a-rama occurs. So you would not see anything from the senators until literally 48 hours before it comes law. Number 5, it's important to understand that the House subcommittee can do whatever that House subcommittee wants to do. So they could do exactly Jalopal's bill or modify Jalopal's bill or not do Jalopal's bill. So you need to make sure that you understand that modifications are still happening. Number 5, it's not in there. It is in there. It isn't in there. It's in there. What's there? There is no there. I've heard that expression there on broadcast news, and it's absolutely, completely incorrect. There refers to a bill. The bill is not finalized until it's finalized. And when is it finalized? 24 hours before it becomes law. The concept of a reconciliation is just what I detailed to you earlier in this video. That it starts in the House, could get modified in the House, and sent over to the Senate, and then could get modified in the Senate. So that ultimately something may not be in there till literally 48 hours before it becomes law, and then it's in there. That is the concept of there. But for purposes of where we are right now, we do not have the totality of any House bill that is being set up for a vote. So there is no actual House bill that is finished from A to Z. But even if there was a House bill that's finished from A to Z, it could be totally changed by the time it got to the Senate. If you remember from early 2021, the first $10,200 of unemployment assistance was made tax-free during the last 24 hours of the entire reconciliation process. It was added in there. It was never heard of. It wasn't in there, quote unquote, until it became literally law. So things are added in the last second. Next. That person hasn't been talking about it. That person has been talking about it. It's important to understand that this is 2021. This is not 2020. Legislators act differently than other legislators, and presidents act differently than other presidents. This president's concept of how to do things is to do it quietly. And this legislator's process of how to do things is to do it quietly. That ultimately, they don't call press conferences. They don't hold chatters. And that while you may have seen Nancy Pelosi talk a lot in 2020, she doesn't talk a lot in 2021 because there's a different era and a different mindset and a different whole time. Moreover, Moreover, these are not legislators. As this is legislators who keep things quiet to the very last minute. As AOC once said famously, they give you the bill and tell you to vote within 5 minutes. They literally sometimes just throw things at you. So it's important to understand that as well. Finally, the most important thing that you must understand going into the next week is you need to push hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. Take these videos and share them on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, and Twitter. Tag your elected officials and push them. Why? Because even when a bill is signed and becomes law, the money sometimes doesn't go out. Sometimes when a bill's written, it's not called for a vote for it to become law. And sometimes when someone proposes a bill, they never write it, and they fold like a lawn chair. So you can never give any benefit of the doubt when it comes to legislators, whether they have it in writing, whether they're calling a vote or anything. You need to push to the very end. So hashtag Purple Power, hashtag MSC. Share these videos on Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram. You're doing a good job, but not really much, not a lot. Very, very nominal. I see a couple of viewers who are doing really good jobs, and then the rest of some other people are saying, tell me what day this is and tell me what day that is. Don't be sitting around tracking checks in 2021. We ain't doing that. We ain't tracking checks. We're cashing checks. This is LA. And Purple Power has never died. Purple Power is pushing, and you need to push right now. And with that, join me next on Evenings LALATE. I'll be back in 2 hours from now with more exciting, great news. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Tell me how the weather is, where you are if you just joined into the live chat late, and where you're watching from. But first, subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. Tell people to come on over this channel. Tell them to subscribe. Share these videos. Tell people to come on over. Like the video. 2,000-3,000 likes. Never forget to like a video and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused. I'll see you in a little bit as Evenings LA heats up next.